Welcome into the Titans. Today, I am your host, Brett Alper, and on today's show, we're going to be talking about the NFL Draft. We've talked about the draft a lot, but the Titans do have the first pick, and we're going to be talking about what should Tennessee do with the first pick and what is on the mind of first-year general manager Mike Borgonzi. First off, the NFL Draft, 7 weeks away from today. I can't believe it's this close. We've gotten through the combine. We're getting through meetings with players now, and everybody's deciding what they're going to do. But what is Tennessee going to do? Well, we have you covered. And when the Titans make a move, if they trade all the draft news, meetings, everything, we've got you covered. NFL free agency is right around the corner, coming to you on Monday. Every single move that the Titans make, we're going to have it right here on the channel, so subscribe, youtube.com/Titans today. Trying to get 25 subs on today's video, so please hit that big red icon right before you start watching this video. Now, report from the Combine all last week, and it was Tennessee's plan for the #1 pick. It was the talk of the town in Indy, inside the Indiana Convention Center at the NFL Combine, and ESPN reports there was a gigantic article from Teron Davenport, which we'll get into, and Jeremy Fowler. And according to team sources, the Titans are undecided on which direction they'll go with the top selection. Well, they have actually a ton of decisions to make. 3 to be exact. And I'm going to go over it specifically on what they should do. And let's start with #1, the obvious one. Draft a quarterback. Now, we're going to get into a little bit on who's starting to build a little bit of stock here, but it's 2 obvious answers here. You have Cam Ward and you have Shedeur Sanders. Now, Cam Ward, it's starting to seem like that he's picking up momentum as the top prospect. I said it before. I said it all the way back in September when the season started, August, the college football season started, that Cam Ward was the best option at quarterback. Coming from Washington State, transferring to Miami, and the stats don't lie with Cam Ward. 67 completion percentage, and just those the touchdown to interception ratio is what sticks out to me the most for Cam Ward. He's not going to make a move with his legs, but he's that guy that you want that's going to stay composed in the pocket. And he said, you put me with Tennessee, I'm a plug-and-play guy. Now we have also Shedeur Sanders, who's the other option. And Shedeur, his numbers, very similar to Cam Ward's, but a lot of teams, they're starting to not really believe that Shedeur Sanders. I've seen a mock draft. Some person had him dropping all the way out of the first round. Now that's out of pocket. That's completely out of pocket. You can see right here, very similar to Cam Ward, 4,100 yards. The rush yards, we're not going to get into that. Very touchdown-interception ratio. Great touchdown-to-interception ratio. But, I mean, Cam Ward's my obvious #1 quarterback here. He's got the best talent. It's talked about a lot that Shedeur Sanders would fit with this team, but I think Cam Ward would, like he said before, he's a plug-and-play guy. And the league is starting, like I said, to really think that Cam Ward is becoming that #1 prospect and taking a clear cut. Teron Davenport with ESPN said this: Ward is the consensus #1 quarterback in this draft by a comfortable margin. According to some, speaking about NFL executives who we talked to at the Combine. But Sanders' pocket passing ability has a depth processor, is appreciated, and will make an easy NFL transition. Thus, he becomes a slight better fit for Brian Callahan's offense in Tennessee, according to multiple scouts. Now, I disagree here. I think Cam Ward would be a better fit for him. I mean, he said that the offensive system with Mario Cristobal was very similar to Brian Callahan's in Tennessee, so you plug him in now. But the one guy, Jackson Dart, is getting a lot of buzz as of late. Charles Davis, he's with the NFL Network, and I think everybody on Twitter was just going off laughing about this, and he put the Giants drafting Jackson Dart 3rd overall. 3rd overall. Like, that's the only one that I've seen Jackson Dart going all the way up. I've seen late first-round pick, early second-round pick, but the 3rd overall pick? I know the Giants need a quarterback. They just signed Tommy DeVito. Tommy Cutlets, yeah, okay. Let's calm down there, Giants fans. Let's calm down. They laughed at that, and I'm laughing at it too. But it's down for the Titans. It's down to Cam Ward or Shedeur Sanders. So what do you think? Let me know in the comments. Cam Ward, Shedeur Sanders. I'm going Cam Ward. He's my #1. He's easily my number one. I've said it before. You've heard me all the time talking about Cam Ward. But Shedeur Sanders, if they do this next move and he's available, you could still take him, and that's what we're going to talk about next. And it's trading down from the number 1 overall pick and going down to 3, or you could go down to the Jets where they're below the top 5. But they're looking at trade options. Mike Borgonzi said this. If someone's trading up for a quarterback, that means there's a lot of value in it. Borgonzi said. It could be another position as well, too. We have Abdul Carter, which we'll talk about in a second. Anytime you trade out of the number 1 pick, you expect a big return. And he said at the Combine that they are open for business. You call me up, you pick up the phone, hey, Mike, what do you got? What do you got for me? We'll give you this haul. I don't think if you trade the 3rd pick that you're going to get the same haul that Chicago got for the Panthers, but Teron Davenport also said this in his article. The majority of the league personnel surveyed by ESPN believes Tennessee prefers to trade out. And then you have the Giants reporter, Jordan Renan, saying this, that multiple people around the NFL believe the Giants trading for the number 1 pick of the Titans is likely. I think he put it at like a 62% here, with the intent to draft quarterback Cam Ward. But now, do the Titans really love Cam Ward that much? If you remember, you go back last year, and I was talking to Giants Now host Marshall Green about this. Where there's smoke, there's fire. And I mean, do they really love him? It's kind of, if you're talking about trading this much, then obviously you don't really know. Last year, Chicago was set on Caleb Williams. Absolutely set. There was like no trade talks whatsoever. Now there's a whole bunch of trade talks. So do we really think the Titans like Cam Ward as much as everybody thinks that they like Cam Ward? Now, the Athletics' Dan Dugan said this, and it was what the Titans could possibly get for the number 1 overall pick. And this is coming from the Giants, which are probably the most likely team to trade up to that pick. You're giving up the 3rd overall pick, the 34th overall pick in this year's draft, along with next year's 1st-round pick and a 3rd-round pick. Now, I'm doing that trade in a heartbeat because I've said it before, and I'll say it again. You can get talent at number 3. Nobody knows what the Browns are doing. They could go quarterback. They have Deshaun Watson on that awful contract, still a couple years. They could go and draft Shedeur Sanders. They can go and draft Travis Hunter, Abdul Carter. Whoever they get, you're sitting there at 3. Fine, all dandy. You can get a generational talent at number 3. So why not trade the pick? Now, if it's the Jets all the way down at 6-7, if you're trading with those teams, you got to get more than that. But for me, I'm taking that trade. I'm giving the Giants the number 1 pick. You can get Cam Ward, and I'm taking whoever's the best available at 3. Now, before we get into our last one, I got to tell you about these Titans hoodies. 60% off, chatsports.com/Titans hoodie. They're great brands. Comfortable. Nike, Fanatics, all of them. They're very comfortable. You can wear them out to Broadway. We're starting to get into the spring weather. I love spring weather here in Dallas. It's very warm. I'm not wearing a hoodie, but I still wear hoodies to work all the time. It's freezing in here. It's not freezing in the studio. But it's talk of the town. You talk of the conversation. You wear a hoodie, see Titans. Hey, do you want to trade the 1st pick? Do you want to get Abdul Carter? Who do you want to get? Well, you can talk about it with just a random person by getting your Titans hoodie. 60% off, chatsports.com/Titans hoodie. We'll put it in the comments if you can't type it out. Now for the 3rd option, you draft the best available. And that's going to be not Shedeur Sanders. He's the quarterback. Travis Hunter or Abdul Carter. And Mike Borgonzi also said this. He could go the free agency route. We want to build it the right way. If we think a quarterback is the right decision at the time, we're going to take it. If we don't think so, then we're going to fill another void on the roster. They're trying to trade Harold Landry here. Trying to take another roster to help us out. But certainly we're not going to make rash decisions just because we're trying to fix every hole here in a matter of 3 months. And that goes back to my last point. It sounds like they're not 100% sure if Cam Ward or Shedeur Sanders is that guy. I'm not 100% sure if they think so, but it could be an option. But it's a question on, do you want to build for the future or do you want to have your franchise quarterback now? Now today, Thursday, the Titans hosted Abdul Carter for a meeting. They're also hosting Travis Hunter early next week. And their goal, according to Teron Davenport, their goal is to have visits with the 4 top prospects before the start of free agency Wednesday, March 12th. They're meeting with Cam Ward. They're meeting with Shedeur Sanders. They already met with all these guys at the NFL Combine. But once you get them to come to Tennessee, you get to work them. You get to really get in depth with them. It's kind of like your first day on the job, your experience. Now we look at Abdul Carter. His stats off the charts. He's, in all honesty, he's probably your best pick, your best talent. But he is hurt. Adam Schefter tweeted this a couple days ago. They projected number 1 pick, Abdul Carter. After further scans on his foot, he had a foot injury, but surgery's not advisable. That is the best thing that could have happened to him. He's still going to work out at his March 28th pro day at Penn State, and you know damn well that Tennessee is going to be there. Now we look at Travis Hunter. We play both sides of the ball. This is his defensive stats. Incredible. And if you look at his offensive stats, they're just as good. But for me personally, I truly don't think that you can go into 2025 and not have a quarterback. You can't go into next season with Will Levis as your starting quarterback. I don't care what the Titans like, what the Titans dislike. Will Levis, coming out of college, I was extremely high on him. Coming out of Kentucky, great talent. But since then, he has one game, and it was that comeback game against Miami. That's it. That's all you had. You look at his stats. I mean, 63% completion percentage is decent. He got benched. That's why it's only 12 games. 13 touchdowns, 12 interceptions. I want to see more. And do we really want to go into 2025 with him under center and have these meme plays? I mean, look at this. You have oh my God, what did I just do? He was falling, tried to pass it, and then you have the bot. No, that's it. You cannot go into next season with Will Levis as your quarterback. And you take a look at the free agent QBs that we have. And besides Sam Darnold, and truly with a bad offensive line, and unless you have an offensive genius, you're not going to get the same production that he got in Minnesota. Mac Jones, Justin Fields, Marcus Mariota, Russell Wilson. You could take in Aaron Rodgers. You don't know what you're getting. He had a solid end of his season, 29 touchdowns, 11 interceptions. But this list is not good. Drafting a quarterback is your first step of the rebuild. And you can't do it with Will Levis as your quarterback, man. You have to draft a quarterback. I get Abdul Carter and Travis Hunter are generational talents, but you need to get that one position going first. You can't plan for the future with a free agent. You can't have a bridge quarterback. They're right in front of you. Cam Ward, Shedeur Sanders is right in front of you. You take them. Yeah, if the Giants give you a haul, you could take that. Chicago got lucky. They ended up still getting the first pick, and look where it turned out. They got Caleb Williams. Unless you get a haul, you take a quarterback. Now, the Titans, they have 7 weeks. 7 weeks until they are on the clock for the NFL draft. And I think Mike Borgonzi, he's got Kansas City blood in him. He was with the Chiefs when they won those Super Bowls. He was a part of it. Drafting Patrick Mahomes. I think he knows what he's doing. And I think they're going to make the right decision here, and he's going to make a statement with this Titans team and bring them back to the 1 seed where they were. It's almost been 5 years. So let me hear what this is going to be our pinned comment of the video. What should the Titans do with the first pick? You let me know in the comments. You let me know who you want to trade. You let me know who you want to take. Do you want to trade? Do you want to pick a quarterback? Do you want to draft Abdul Carter? You let me know in the comments. And as always, don't forget to subscribe. Free agency starts on Monday, and we're going to have all the coverage for you. And as always, tighten up.